Hi, Al. I don't know what happened to this thing, and I don't know what I did right to make it finally come back on. I couldn't get the live stream to work. This was a constant agonizing process. It broke after it seemed like a door banged, and then the contact broke somehow. I didn't hook up the cable today. Last week I had a cable hooked up, figuring it wouldn't break the stream, and somehow it broke the stream anyway. So I don't know much about this technical stuff except for it gives me a headache. And I'd just as soon be planting stuff and have people come by and learn that way. But I think this is the wave that we need to jump on and teach and learn is video. So that's why I'm here, trying to promote this thing. And I get a little frustrated I can't get very many viewers on this channel. And on. This goes on and on, as we know. And so I'm not saying that all channels out there that do well are selling junk, but some of the really big ones are selling bubble gum. Okay. And it's a little frustrating. You have good content and that somebody can learn and grow and all this, and doesn't seem to get the respect to YouTube to where they allow people to view it. Now, I accept if people don't subscribe. I get that, but the lack of viewership shows that they hold it back. I think that's my version of life. Is that I think they're holding back the viewership. They're not promoting this. So, because of course, I'm not into you have to buy everything in the world just to get by at all. So I get that. Anyhow, somehow I got back on here. I really don't know how. I had a variety of titles I kept making to try to make a new title and make this thing start, and it wouldn't start. I don't know if it's the internet, if it's YouTube, if it's my computer. There's some level of dissonance here, okay, that it's not lining up, not aligning the way it should. So anyway, you can see my resource pile back here. Even though it looks messy, most of that's books and stuff that are important to me, and paperwork. In person, it doesn't look maybe quite as messy, but when it's all condensed into the video, it does. And if you've come by, my apologies. There was quite a while that this thing broke, and you got lost in cyberspace somewhere trying to check out my live stream. And I don't know. I'm thinking I have some ideas. Somebody told me that StreamYard was a good thing, and I want to try that one day, and I just haven't got around to trying it. I have to try it and see how it works, test it, and then do it. And then if I can get that going, I think that'll be my future live streaming. Do that maybe once a month. But until then, you can come on here and shout out your channel. And as I stated in the first video, it was supposed to be overview, permaculture overview. I think I'll do these, maybe every other week, the live stream and do a permaculture overview. So it looks like, let me see what I can go over here in the permaculture book, which is also known as a designer's manual. Okay, so that's the title right there. Why is it showing backwards? This is weird, because why is it showing mirror image? I hope it's not showing backwards in the video. Anyway, that's the thing that go through this. So Yeah, I'm just realizing, you know what? That's showing mirror image. Is that something wrong with it? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, in here it's talking about policy of resource management. Look at this. Integrated landscape. Okay. Isn't that cool? So it's not just bland reading in this book. It's stuff that you can really dig into with a visualization. Policy of resource management. A responsible human society bans the use of resources which permanently reduce yields of sustainable resources, e.g., pollutants, persistent poisons, radioactives, large areas of concrete and highways, sewers from city to sea. In other words, you want to be reutilizing all these things, like your gray water you can use in the garden and grow your trees, things like that. And they use a chicken as an example. That the chicken does a lot of good things. It eats bugs and it fertilizes the property and it gives eggs and all this. So I have a really hard time off the top of my head explaining these things, and I can't read it necessarily because who knows, maybe too much tap water in my system. So it talks about a lot of things, but basically permaculture is redesigning our part of the world to be regenerative. Originally, all of it was. Now, sometimes it was on a long scale or a shorter scale, but humans have disrupted that to where things don't necessarily regenerate back to where they were, because some of these systems, especially kind of desert systems, are a little bit fragile. So then you disrupt that and you take some resource away to where everything's changed and it can't regenerate. So we need to bring things back into alignment where nature can take over and regenerate. That's the biggest theme of permaculture. And it just things like, we make everything hotter by having a lot of pavement. Humans like things hot and dry and flat. Okay, we don't like a lot of water in the landscape because it's hard to drive our vehicles. We get stuck in mud and things. We don't like the vehicle to not be shiny. So it gets mud on it, it's not shiny. So therefore we dry out the landscape. Then we wonder when it doesn't rain the amount that it used to, why? And then how come we got to cut back on our watering of our nice plants that we like and all this? Well, it's because we've purposely dried out the landscape, not thinking of long-term consequences of that. Okay, when you deforest an area, even if it's your yard, say you got 30 trees you cut down. Okay, don't expect the yard to be as fertile after that. You're drying out the landscape. So, as humans, we can remediate these effects that have gone on over time. Okay, we can plant some trees. We can put some shrubs. We don't want a super dry landscape. These things hold moisture in the air and they keep the soil moist and shaded. And that's the thing in nature, it keeps fertility going. We don't want to break the fertility cycle. So, they have something called the heat island effect. They figure the prevalence of pavement in modern society adds another 10 to 15 degrees to the temperature. So what we can do is we can shade that pavement. Okay, with some shrubs provide shade, trees if we can put them, things like that. Maybe a bamboo. Try to select for a clumper though if you get bamboo, because the runners are the ones that have the bad reputation. They take off all over the place. Select a nice clumper if you can. and put it in to where it can shade some pavement and help your yard thrive more. Okay, so that's the thing. Somebody give me a thumbs up. I don't know who's here, but I know I didn't give myself a thumb. Thank you, whoever gave me a thumbs up. So anyway, we can improve our area by making more of a shade corridor is what I'm saying. Even if you don't draw any food out of your landscape, if you can make it more habitable to us people, you're also making it more habitable to birds and bees and things that make our life better and more interesting. Hi, Arkansas. Thanks for coming by. Arkansas Woodcutter is here. And my stream was way out of the time zone. I started it and then it broke. And what I had to do to get it back was, just like pull my hair out. Figuratively, of course. It's reducing. I'm getting the chromodomius as it is. So give me a second. I'm going to close the door because we got some intrusion by neighbors. We don't want that extra sound intrusion. Plus, I can upgrade our viewscape a little bit. So I was just talking about, kind of rambling about how we can make our area better just by shade corridors, cool off the pavement, and just make it all more habitable. Maybe all of us aren't able to grow food. Well, grow a better environment, I guess, is what I would say. And, I really think the solution to getting out of this kind of a shelter in place, shut down thing is for everybody to try to grow food if they can and share food. And, that type of thing, because we all need to eat. That's an interconnection point right there. I mean, people talk about finding common ground. Well, those terms, common ground, we should just think about that and say, oh, that's where we connect. We all eat. We're all connected to the earth. And that's a good connection point to make things better. I don't think the industrial ag model is the best for us. We're getting food that is degraded, and it's degrading the landscape for us and all the other creatures. So we need to change it. My view on how we change that is 1 yard at a time. Start with our own yard. Grow a plant or two. Next year, grow a couple more, but plan for abundance, and then plant for abundance. Of course, I'm reading your chat. Putting the current trees down to 3/4 feet with chop. Canopy foundation trees that are also food producers. I don't know. Canopy trees, it depends on your area. So, permaculture is this wide this wide variety of things you can put, right? Because we all have a little bit different climate. How about Moringa? That is supposed to be called drumstick tree, I believe. That is supposed to be a phenomenal tree. It gets really big and might be your tree, and can provide shade. And also sometimes you get NFT are good. Nitrogen fixing trees can be a higher, maybe not quite the ultimate canopy tree, but then they throw some shade and then you can coppice them, which is cut them off short like you're talking about. And then the nitrogen apparently fixation in the roots they call slough off. It'll release some of that back into the soil. Fungal relations of tree type. Oh. Fungal association is very good to promote that. There is some like even in compost, you have to realize there's different types of compost. There's fungal dominated and there's bacterially dominated. I have some mycorrhizal fungi tablets that I got that I want to put when I start putting my conifers in and things. I like that you're air layering fruit trees. That's cool. Yeah, what kind of climate do you have? Are you kind of tropical there in Arkansas? Is that what's going on? Subtropical or something? Are you more on the Gulf Coast? You can see here my geography is much lacking. I know where California is. I know where Florida is. I know some things are on the Gulf Coast, vaguely. Sweet gum, paper mulberry. Have you found some other use for those also? Are you able to use the wood for anything? Is sweet gum I can't think of the word. Is it a eucalyptus sweet gum? Because I know sometimes they call a eucalyptus gum tree, and here eucalyptus, it doesn't have much other use. Paper mulberry, I think, has some other uses. It's such a you need to learn your own landscape, and it's a kind of a trial and error. Sorry to say, some of these things we've kind of lost to the wind as society has moved forth because we got into these new models that unfortunately don't serve us as well as they should. How long have you been doing this, Arkansas Woodcutter? Is it just current? More recent? You can tell me the zone, but honestly, it doesn't bear a lot of fruit in my brain. So I just learned recently through looking something up that on a site where I could order a tree, they told me I'm 9B. Hi, Howie. How you doing? I should just say, how are you? That's a little simpler. And anyway, so Arkansas Woodcutter, food. The guy at Food Forest Permaculture is Howie. That's why I said Howie. Wow, that sounds really cool. Nice. Are you eating your way through your Pathway Soil Bank right now, Howie? I love the food forest thing, and I was watching Dan's permaculture food forest, and he had shown where before and after he'd come from all grass to this, burgeoning food forest. And I said, hey, eat your way around the yard, and as you drop the seed, you expand the food forest. And I wish I had a lot of sage advice for you, Arkansas Woodcutter, but I don't know. I'm not from Arkansas. But some general things are, just find things, NFTs, nitrogen fixing tree, find out what kind of canopy overstory trees are native to that area. So those will do well, especially if it's got multiple uses, as you know, because I'm sure you've studied all these permaculture and food forests and things. But I would look for things like that. Maybe some nut trees, maybe a walnut, or my brain has gone soggy right now. I just spent, I don't know how much, over a half hour trying to get back on this dang live stream after it broke for me. And you know what a good thing to get Arkansas Woodcutter. I've learned a lot, though I haven't utilized it all, so I've lost some of it to the wind. Is a little guide called the Agroforestry, I think it's Journal. I'll have to look it up again. But Agroforestry News, maybe. Look those up. There's a little guide you can get through the Permaculture Design Magazine. Okay, and this is the American one. It's produced in Tupelo, Mississippi, I believe. Now, maybe that's in your area. Like I say, my take on where things are, geography, I'm not sure. I guess I should have traveled more, but I'm from the West. I have my Western bias, and I just kind of stay out here. We're kind of spoiled here, I guess. We've been told by some we are. I'm trying to find if it was in here somewhere. I don't know if it's Agroforestry News or but he promotes it in here because trying to sell it. That it's a very good little guide, and they've just started producing pictures in it that have color pictures. Before it was just very all written. I can't find it right now because I'm looking for it. That's kind of the way it goes, huh? They have also, I recommend get this magazine. You can get 10 of these to an address a year for $99. If you really, say you have a bunch of friends that are into it, it's a good deal. I don't want to tell you go out and spend a bunch of money. If you can't afford it, don't. But if you can afford this magazine, even just to get for yourself, I think a 3-year subscription, $63 or something. So it's for like 12 issues. And I'm sorry I missed that, Howie. I wish I'd have known. I'll have to keep more on top of when everybody's live stream is. You had a live stream on garlic. Sorry I missed that one, friend. I really got inspired by your live streams and to do one. And I'm still looking. I still have to look farther into this StreamYard thing you suggested, because I'd like that better if we could all just talk instead of me just ramble on and read. Still trying to find this. Is it Agroforestry News? But I would definitely recommend that even over this. This is more about people's stories and inspiring, but the Agroforestry News is more like scientific. It's more to facts. Instead of just like, I don't know, you don't get the same story out of it, but you do get a lot of facts, is what I'm saying. You got a thing in here, a book about the whole okra. Okra isn't my thing so far, but trying to find this. Oh, here it is. Agroforestry News. Okay, so look. If you want to subscribe, you can, it's $31 a year. Now, this is a little, it's like half a, if you open it flat out, it would be like an 8.5 by 11 page, okay? So it's that kind of size book. And it looks like you can get it through agroforestry.co.uk, or you get it through these people have Permaculture Design has a website. Man, that must have been cool. It looks like I lost you guys. Damn it. So looking for the info, I lost you guys. But thanks for coming by. And sorry I can't provide every bit of information I wish I knew. And but this is all just a matter of us getting together and combining our knowledge and seeing what we can generate out of that. And as far as keeping the inspiration up, I definitely recommend this magazine. Now, I don't receive anything for recommending this magazine. It's not a paid promotional. These people are holding on by their fingernails to try to produce this. Please support it and share it and all this kind of thing, because they promote goodness and we want to spread goodness. So I'm thinking I'm going to start what I'm going to call the Pacific Permaculture Institute at my house. And what I'm thinking to do is start getting the 10 issues to my address a year instead of the regular subscription. And that way I have more issues to share as I get people to come by. I can share it with them. Trimming the garlic. Thanks for coming by, Howie. Catch you later. I know we're all busy as heck, and over time I'm going to be even busier in the yard and not want to spend as much time in this with the live streams and the videos. I'm hoping to get more people on board as I start the Pacific Permaculture Institute, and even more people to video and edit and all this. And at some point I'd like to turn this into the money to support the effort, right? Recycle that in. And thanks. I wish there was a way. I don't know if there's a way you can let me know when you're going to have a live stream other than promoting it on your channel, but I will maybe put my email address on one of these vids or in the comments so people can contact me. And then I'm still looking forward to trying the StreamYard thing. I just haven't gotten to it yet. And working towards next Earth Day, I'm hoping to make it a really big thing. Thanks for coming by. So thanks to Arkansas Woodcutter channel and Food Forest Permaculture channel for coming by and shouting themselves out. And we had a little chit chat. And with that, I've already been on here again for about a half an hour, and I want to cut it loose. And maybe I didn't overview the permaculture book enough, but anyway, that's how it goes. Thanks for coming by, everybody. If you have nothing to do, check out the replay. Have the aloha. Bye.